Hello everyone, this is Mr.arorora. In today's episode we're going to create our own custom Battle Maze 40 million character. So I'm going to create a Chaplin character and always make sure import your references to your file so that you know what you're trying to create and you can always take a reference from the images behind. So let's get to it. At the first place, let's create our silhouette by adding our cubes to our scene and create the basic shape of our character. In today's episode, the tutorial is going to be short because I have other tutorials to record. So let's do this for now like that and let's continue. So we need to create our chest plate, chest part, middle section, crotch plate, legs, arms, shoulders, and the backpack. So what I want to create is something mix of all four of these concept arts. I want to have my character have wings, have a crow's ears, but I don't like the feet having fingers, so I'm going to skip that. The chaplain is going to look like firstborn mixed with primaris marines. So my main goal is having a custom character with wings. That's all. Other than that, the rest is all you know. The rest is simple. So at this part, we have simple shape and simple character at the moment. So yeah, after I am done creating the silhouette, I'm going to continue on explaining stuff. Also, I added an add-on to show my keys while doing what I'm doing. So you know what I'm pressing and what tools I use. If that's clear, I'm gonna skip forward. Now, after I'm satisfied with the main silhouette, let's make let's add some mirror modifiers to duplicate our models and let's add some loops. After that, let's add some subdivision surfaces and do not apply those until we are done with them. So, at this point, we're creating a rough surface and rough shape of our character. Later on, we're going to add more character, more loops, more vertices and faces. So, at this stage, we are using subdivision modifiers to create the basic silhouette of our parts. For example, this shoulder plate. As you can see, without the subdivision, it looks like a cube with sharp angles. But with the subdivision surface modifier, it looks like a shoulder pad of a space marine. So what we are doing is we're creating the main shape and adjusting the main shape according to our preferences. Afterwards, we're going to apply our subdivision surface and work on it that way. This helps us create models faster without losing the topology and good workflow. So yeah, we're going to repeat the same thing for all of our parts. So that is simple as that. At this point, I'm going to skip forward a little bit more so that you can see what I'm doing and working on. Like always, I'm going to intervene in parts that need explaining and you might get confused, so don't worry. I'm always here, watching with you. Yeah, as you can see, we created our main silhouette and main character, so this is simple as that. Afterwards, we're going to separate these parts and work on them by after we applied our subdivision surface. Right now I'm still adding and creating other parts, so don't worry. We will get to the good parts in a bit. As you can see, this is the main silhouette of a space marine. Big arms, big chest, small head, and big as hell shoulder pads. Because why not in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, we must have extra awkward armor bits and lots of hate. And our character must carry that emotions as well. So, we have the main silhouette of our character. So we can continue on by adding our subdivisions, and afterwards we will create our details slowly. So after we created our main silhouette, we can apply our subdivision surface modifiers and slowly work on our main shape. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I'm going to use a modifier from our options. We don't need to sharpen our edges. I'm trying to how to create the best results. So we choose our item, then we go to this menu, we manually change the vertex crease value. This helps us create sharper edges before we apply our modifier, because subdivision surface modifier always smooths our shape, and I don't want my shape to have that corner smoothed. So I'm modifying that place. And as you can see, after we apply our modifiers, this part is going to be a corner. The other thing is, we can still use our subdivision modifier after we apply the first one, and we can benefit by using that. We can see how our model going to look like with a smoother surface. But I don't want that at the moment, so we'll continue. So as you can see, the line there is a little crook. I'm going to fix that soon as I apply this mirror modifier. So let's get to it. Yes. So I'm satisfied with the basic shape. So I had to modify it and turn it into a pauldron. So our pauldron, I'm going to choose our references and hide the rest of the figure so that I can only focus on the pauldron. So as you can see, the pauldron has a smoother surface and two hard lines going all around it. So let's clear the modifiers we added, the main keys and bevel. But first, let's straighten these loops. Alright, looks much better now. And choose the vertices we modified and clear the any modifier we put on there. So at this point, we all, like we always do, we move our parts, we align them, we adjust them. And that's all we do. So yeah, I'm gonna skip a little bit forward. Right now, what I'm trying to do is make sure this model is this shoulder plate, the pauldron, has an inside, because I'm going to print this character. So without having an inside and backside of the model, it's going to print it on air, and we don't want that. We want to have our model to have an inside as well. Otherwise, it's going to create some problems and issues. So, as you can see, I'm trying to find best way to resolve this issue. But at that moment, I had an idea. Why not copy the outside of the surfaces, copy that, and bridge the edge loops there. So I'm gonna do that right now. As you can see, I try connecting these and adding a bevel to create the smooth surface, but this can work as well, but this will take a lot more time than I would prefer. So instead of doing that and this, we will do something else. Also, what the main reason our loop tools are failing here, we didn't apply scale, location, and rotation of the model. We need to do that. So let's select these faces and duplicate them and bring it inside and adjust its size. So there you go. Now we have it inside now. So let's delete these faces and let's select both our objects edges and click on bridge edge loops. And as you can see, it's filled now. But I don't want triangles here, so let's go to the face selection mode and turn these into quads. I will fix the rest of the issues later on. Right now, I just want to create the main silhouette and main character. So, that's that. Right now, I'm working on the main torso, and I created a seam line here, and I'm not happy about it. So, as you can see, there's a bad topology there. In order to fix that, let's rate it up and slowly create loop cuts and fix this. Now, let's add a bevel there. I'm not, no, let's keep it simple. Okay, much better. Now, let's try to fix this topology problem. And let's cut this like that. And finish it in the middle. So let's fix this quickly. There we go. No son of Sanguinius shall be with bad topology. We must honor our Primarch, Lord and Savior, Lord Sanguinius, by creating a good model with a clean topology. Always make sure to create a good topology. A good topology means a good model. Trust me. Emperor approves this message. Okay. By the way, this is how you create a basic 3D character. You can up you can apply everything you see here to any model you are working on, but the main thing about working with miniatures like this, always make sure to create big shapes and big textures, because when you print something like this in a smaller size, most of the details and characteristics you put there will disappear. So always make sure to create big shapes and big characteristic parts. Otherwise, the printing will eat up all the details and it will look like a spaghetti file. So always to make sure of that. Okay, so right now, as you can see, The bevel destroyed our backside of this model. So let's fix that. Okay. The behind of the model, the collar, the backside of the collar is too in between. We don't want that because this will create bad topology and this will create issues along the way. So let's fix that. Always make sure to fix your problems beforehand because after the stage, the rough blocking and rough shaping stage, it will be much harder to go back and to fix the problems you had. It's always important that you understand the basics of Blender and basic understanding of topology, shapes. Always remember to create good shapes and make sure your vertices do not collide with each other. Or make sure your face is looking outside because when your face is looking inside, it will create a hole. And when you try to print that or render that, there will be an invisible hole there, and you will scratch your head for hours thinking, why do I have a problem there? That's the main reason. So be careful of that. Right now, as you can see, I separated the shoulder and the arm part into two pieces because I don't want it to be the whole arm built on this. I just I'm going to first shape the armor part because the rest, the inside's going to be much organic and smoother. So I'm gonna separate this part and turn it into armor bit because it's to create a specimen armor, you need parts, lots of parts that do not collide with each other, instead build on each other to create a harder and stronger body. That's the reason spacemen looks like mini Hulks, you know. They have huge shapes because they're crafted instead of made with love. They're crafted with hatred and objective in mind. Because creating a space marine is not a good experience, trust me. It's much more than a merciless thing, you know, because you open up kids, cut them, and turn them into something like this. Unproportioned, huge, ugly things. That's why I love Space Marines. They they only exist to fight. But when you understand that fact and you still see humanity in them, even though they're broken humans, they're child soldiers, yet they are still human underneath all that armor, muscle, and pain. They build to be endure these pains and face so many horrors in this galaxy. But at the end of the day, they are just broken kids that tasked with saving humanity. That's the reason I love Space Marines and characters like this, because they're broken. And like every human, they are not really good at hiding their brokenness. The thing about I choose Blood Angels because they're artists and they carry a lot of hate and anger. Even though they're artists, they use art to release their anger and fine tune their character. They choose to be artists as well, even though they are made for war. They deny the fact that their only purpose in this life is fight and die. They deny that fact, and instead of accepting that fate with grimness, they accept that fate with passion and leaving a legacy behind. And you're going to ask, Mr. Aurora, these are just miniatures, man. These are just little characters in this dumbass world that kill each other every day. Why are you caring about their artistic talents and their emotions? Who knows? I just enjoy that. And seeing emotions is something so beautiful in art. So I'd rather be an artist and a warrior at the same time than be nothing. So here you can see I'm creating the basic shape of the armor and which part's going to get extruded and highlighted here. So as you can see, yes, much better. So this armor is going to be bulky, covered with armor plate. So we will need to give that illusion. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright. After we adjusted our crotch plate and crotch area, let's get our cursor right in the middle of that. So in order to do that, we press Shift S and place our cursor right inside our model. So let's do it. So after we do that, as you can see, we press Shift S and select active instead of origin point. As you can see, it's there, not here. So let's do that. Let's select our cursor to the active. Now, let's create our belt. In order to do that, we're going to create a cylinder. We're going to lower its face count. We don't need something too much with something with too much faces. We don't need that. Let's resize it. Now I'm going to delete the top and bottom layers of this cylinder. Then I'm going to extrude it. You can do this differently as well. You can choose the bottom and top surfaces and insert a face there, then delete the inside faces and bridge the edge loops. But I choose to do this that way because it's much easier for me. So I always know this. Not everything I do, you should do too. Choose your own preferences. Always remember to choose your own preferences. So I want the belt to be figure, so I choose the inside faces and extrude, resize it. Okay, much better now. So we're going to fix this belt because I don't want it to be just a cylinder there. I want the belt to connect to the character as well. So let's choose our proportional editing and adjust its place. Much better. Let's fix it from the sides as well. Okay, much better. Let's resize it. There we go. Now it is much and much better. Okay. Now let's create our back armor, the armor padding of the back side of our character. So let's do that. Okay, let's add a cube, resize it, and adjust it. I'll be back with more things later on. See you in a bit. So, I'm back and I'm done with the back side of our character. So let's create our line cloth. And that is so simple. We're just going to add a cube here and resize it. After our model done, we are done modeling our character. If we want to create an organic shape, we can either sculpt the line cloth or apply a cloth modifier to it and generate a wind field or area field to give it a organic shape. But we will do that in later episodes, so no worries. I will cover that as well. Hmm. The Emperor knows what he does, and the Emperor always gives the Space Marines asses! Don't forget to add ass cheeks to our character. Without ass cheeks, he will not be able to stand up. That's the reason we have ass cheeks. Because we're standing up. That is why monkeys doesn't have ass cheeks. because they don't stand up. The big reveal of evolution. The only reason we are able to walk on 2 feet and stand up, that we evolved to have um, cheeks. So, our space marines, when you think about it, they're always standing up and always fighting and always moving. So, they're gonna have big cheeks. And we love it that way. Don't worry, guys, I'm just goofing around. I'm not a pervert for space marines, if you know what I mean. Anyways, let's adjust our rest of our character. And at this point, what I do is repetition. So I'm going to leave myself to model and show you what I'm doing. So thank you all for watching this episode with Mr.arorora. We are here to create and learn how to create. So thank you all for joining me in this creation journey. And I'll see you in the next episode. May Emperor protects, and may the angels of Baal, be ready and stood against the bulwark of our enemies. Goodbye.